It's another Model 3 heavy show today. We get Model 3 standard battery news, a bump in performance for the performance Model 3, Consumer Reports critiques the Model 3, and Elon teases us with new Easter eggs. Glad to be back after yesterday's missed show. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 407 for May 23rd, 2018. We kick things off on Twitter today, where Elon gave us the lowdown on why the standard battery version of Model 3 hasn't been seen and when we can expect it. Quote, with production, first you need to achieve target rate and then smooth out flow to achieve target cost. Shipping minimum cost Model 3 right away would cause Tesla to lose money and die. Need 3 to 6 months after $5,000 per week to ship $35,000 Tesla and live, end quote. So there you have it. The production lines have to be at speed in order for the per unit cost of the car to be low enough for Tesla to make money on it. Considering that after Q1 they were already losing money on Model 3 as it was, producing a low margin version would not be a terribly smart idea. But this gives us some detail on when we can see it though. Elon says 3 to 6 months from $5,000 per week. We also know that he told us that performance and dual motor versions wouldn't be available to configure before the $5,000 per week mark, and over the weekend, that happened. So let's just call that date June 1st. With that in mind, those that want the standard battery could look for it to be available to configure sometime in Q4, which is in line with current estimates being given by the Tesla delivery estimator. Staying at Twitter, Ride the Lightning's Ryan McCaffrey, who lately seems to be Elon's best Twitter friend, had a question about getting brake calipers onto the Performance Model 3 from the factory. Elon seemingly shut this down, but following that gave us this little nugget, quote, also, not promising anything, but we might be able to increase Model 3 performance power output a little, end quote. So, how much do we think is a little? I'm guessing 1/10 or maybe 2, but I'm near certain it won't dip below 3 seconds. We skip over to Teslarati, where Consumer Reports has weighed in on the Model 3, and despite every other glowing review out there, somehow Consumer Reports can't recommend Model 3. While Consumer Reports did find plenty to like about Model 3, they felt that the braking of the car was not up to par. The magazine obtained a result of 152 feet to stop the car from 60 miles per hour. Incidentally, this is 25 feet more than it takes for a Model X to stop in the same test. A Tesla spokesperson responded to the criticism, saying, quote, unlike other vehicles, Tesla is uniquely positioned to address more corner cases over time through over-the-air software updates, and it continually does so to improve factors such as stopping distance, end quote. Following that, Elon threw out some tweets to clarify further, quote, very strange. Model 3 is designed to have super good stopping distance, and other reviewers have confirmed this. If there is vehicle variability, we will figure it out and address. May just be a question of firmware tuning, in which case can be solved by an OTA software update, end quote. And following that, quote, even if a physical upgrade is needed to existing fleet, we will make sure all Model 3s having amazing braking ability at no expense to customers, end quote. As always, Tesla doing right by customers regardless of expense. Hopefully this is just the software requiring adjustment, saving both time and money for all involved. In the end, Consumer Reports did eventually call the Model 3 a, quote, otherwise impressive sedan, end quote, but as I previously stated, it did not receive the magazine's recommendation to buy. Lastly today, for those of us that love Tesla Easter eggs, an Elon tweet on Tuesday sent us all onto Cloud 9. Quote, we're going to include some fun games as hidden Easter eggs in Tesla S, X, and 3. What do you think would be most fun in a car using the center touchscreen? End quote. My answer was immediately chess or checkers for those supercharger stops that you need to pass some significant time at. Later, I thought probably the perfect game suited for the medium, touchscreen oriented in portrait, would be Missile Command. Other wonderful, yet also feasible answers were Pole Position, Outrun, Tetris, Pong, Flappy Bird, and Frogger. Looking forward to seeing what we get. You can check out the links to the full stories in the show description. While you're doing that, please consider supporting the show financially through Patreon at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Thanks very much to our super patrons out there supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are John Waltower, Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Mark and Sarah Thomas, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Bruno Kundici, Joey Boots, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Adam Raymer Brown, Megawatt Photovoltaic Development, Todd Sullivan, Robert Healy, Mitch Long, and Zortec LED Canada. If you can't support with dollars, be sure to show your love with positive reviews and subscriptions on YouTube, iTunes, and other services across the internet. That's it for today's episode. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. I'll see everyone back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.